There are three little handy hints that I use all the time with my sewing, and today I'd like to show you them, and maybe you will be able to save time and use your machine and your machine feet to their best advantage. My name is Elizabeth and I like to sew smart, and today, as I said, I'm going to show you first how to make a perfect applique corner with your stitching. When you come up to the corner on your applique, sometimes you have to maneuver the needle a little bit to get round the corner to get the right little blanket stitch round there. I'll show you that one first, and then I'll show you two more which I'm sure will help you. I have a Janome machine, and I'm sure many of you do too, and it has an applique program on it. Now I've clicked into this applique program. I've chosen my stitch, which you can see in the top bar, and my F foot. Now, if you notice here at the bottom, there is a button. It has a red applique stitch going from top to bottom, and then one that has a corner view. Now, because I'm stitching straight down first, that will be the red one. When I come to the bottom, and I'm going to go to the corner with my needle down, I'm going to press that, and the corner stitch comes up red. When I go to stitch, I will press the B button, and then it will create the perfect corner. So I've chosen a slightly paler piece so that you can see more clearly the stitching. So I'm stitching on this pale green in red, and I'm going to stitch right down to the corner and leave my needle down. Just a normal blanket stitch I'm using. So my needle is down. Now I'm going to press my button, the corner. I'm going to pivot. And press the B button. And then it will come with a perfect corner stitch. And there I have my perfect corner stitch. Now sometimes it will, depending on the length of your stitch, it will come as a complete square on that corner. Because of my width of my stitch, it's just a little bit lighter. But you can see from there that that goes around the corner really neatly, tucking all your applique edge in. Sometimes when you're turning up denim jeans, or you have an edge, like when we were recently making the face masks, we had folds and pleats in, and you get really a thick layer of fabric to stitch over. In this case, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 6 layers of fabric there, plus a little bit of wadding in the middle. And sometimes when you come to put that under your machine foot, it won't go under. And I'm going to use an actual, it's a shank button attachment, again for your machine. Most machines have these. And I'm going to show you how you can stitch smoothly across all of those layers without it getting caught underneath. So I'm going to start stitching. When I get here, you'll see already it's starting to bunch up. I'm going to lift my foot, let's pop it down a little bit, lift my foot again, and take my shank button attachment. I'm going to slip it right under there, keeping the gap where my needle is. That now raises it to the same height as my pleated fabric, and I'm going to stitch over it all the way across to the end. And there you can see all layers are stitched through, no bunching. My third handy hint is when you get these nice little hand towels, and you can sometimes get them from the $2 shop, and they've got just a plain little section here on the end. You can really smarten those up by using this foot. Now this is a border, called a border foot, and I'm going to show you now how you can go take the plain edge, which I will just bring across here to show you a second time. This is a plain edge on your towel, and you can put a pattern on it by using this little foot. and it will be pretty much even all the way down because you're going to follow these guidelines to do it. Because I've already stitched on the border on that towel, I'm just doing this on a scrap piece of fabric to show you. So I've got my stitch line in. I'm just following first off down this edge on one line to get it straight. I'm going to go almost all the way down. I'm going to stop just here. And now I'm going to come down, reverse my stitch. If you hadn't got a reverse stitch, you would turn your fabric round. I have a reverse stitch, so I'm just going to line up the first line of my border. In here, there's two little red lines there. I'm going to line that up with that. Just reverse my stitch, and I'm then going to go down, Daisy, going to go down the second row. Oops, got a piece of thread there. Keeping that line in between those two red marks. Right to the bottom. This was a little piece I just did on the machine. Has a nice even gap in the middle all the way down. Looks really nice on your hand towel, so that would make a nice gift for somebody, and you could brighten up a $2 towel with just something like that. I've shown you how to do the corner using the Janome on the applique, and how to sew through multiple layers of fabric easily using the shank button attachment, and I hope this will help you make your sewing much easier. And if you've enjoyed this little session of handy hints, then give us a thumbs up and subscribe, and don't forget to have a look at all my patterns in the Etsy shop, and they are all available. And join me next time for making a very, very easy jigsaw quilt. Hope to see you then.